Hi, Carlos. Last time we talked, you said you had some concerns about your drinking. Would it be all right if we explored this more together? Okay, that sounds good. So, what is a typical week for you as far as alcohol use? Um, Probably a drink or two on the weeknights, but I tend to drink more on the weekends. How many drinks would you say on weekends that you have? Oh man, probably like 4 to 5, maybe, usually more when I want to go hard because when it's someone's birthday or we're celebrating someone for a big event, like a graduation. I come from a really big family, and so there's always something going on the weekends. I see. So you have a lot of family get-togethers. Yeah, pretty much. There's always something to celebrate. And at these family parties, is there some alcohol involved? Yeah, my cousins and I play some drinking games and take shots. When we hang out, that's something we usually do. Yeah, it's common for people to drink alcohol when they come together for events. Do you have any concerns about your alcohol use? Um, I don't know. Sure, I guess. Well, let's talk more about that. Yeah, sure. I think sometimes I can get carried away with drinking. Like sometimes after work, my cousins and I would go to a happy hour, or when we meet up at a family get together, we drink. And sometimes I feel crummy because I have a hangover or something the next day. And sometimes I wish we could do things together that don't involve alcohol. So it looks like what you're saying is that when you're spending time with your family, the activities involved tend to be centered around drinking alcohol. And you don't like the way you feel the next day after a night of drinking. Yeah, exactly. If I didn't hang out with them as much, then I probably wouldn't be drinking as much. Plus, I feel like I'm gaining some weight from all this drinking. Well, you're right. Alcohol can lead to some weight gain. I feel like I used to be more fit back then when I wasn't drinking as much. It sounds like drinking frequently makes you feel like you're not where you want to be with your physical fitness. Does that sound right? Yeah, I want to get back into shape again. Okay, well, would you be interested in looking at the dietary guidelines for alcohol use with me? Okay, so the dietary guidelines recommend that adults' a legal drinking age is 2 drinks a day or less than men. That's what they consider as drinking in moderation. Now, what comes to mind when you hear that? Um, I mean, I built up my tolerance, so I think I drink more than that. Well, what's the worst that can happen to someone who drinks a lot of alcohol? Well, they can develop certain cancers and heart disease. Well, cancer? Yeah. What kind? Well, the most common is liver cancer, but also head, neck, and colon cancer. That sounds like a lot of different kinds of cancers. Yeah, there's some cancers associated with drinking alcohol. Even if someone is drinking a small amount, there's still the risk of getting cancer. But the risk goes up even higher the more someone drinks. Can you think of any reasons to bring your alcohol use down? I guess my health. Okay, that's a good reason. Tell me more about that. Well, I don't want to get cancer. And my dad passed away from colon cancer a few years ago. It seemed horrible and he wasn't doing well. I'm sorry to hear about your dad. Seeing someone go through cancer can be really tough. So far, you have a really good starting point as to why you want to cut down on your alcohol drinking. Are there any other reasons that you can think of? Um, I want to lose some of the weight I gained since I've started drinking more often. And it would help if I didn't feel hungover as much. I'm getting older and I just can't bounce back like I used to. So it looks like you can see some advantages to reducing the amount of drinking. Yeah, you came up with a lot of different reasons. That's really good. Now, if you decide to reduce the amount of alcohol you drink in a week on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is where you are not at all confident and 10 is where you feel certain that you could do it, where do you think you would fall right now? 7. I've tried to stop drinking for a week or two, but whenever I'm around family, alcohol is always around. I can see why that can be difficult. You're close to your family and you spend a lot of time with them, and you've tried to abstain from alcohol in the past, but it's hard when everyone around you is drinking. Yeah, I would say that's true. It also seems like you're ready to make some changes. Is this something you would be willing to look into with me? Yeah, I'm interested. Okay, well, what options do you see yourself having? Um, I can just not show up to these family events, but that would kind of suck because I like hanging out with my cousins. I grew up with them, so we know each other really well and I feel comfortable around them. That's a possible solution. Are you willing to give up seeing your family? Well, not really. Okay, so what are some other things you think you can do? I'm not sure. That's okay. We will figure this out together. Thanks. I appreciate that. Can you think of a time when you hung out with your family and there was no alcohol involved? Yeah, like when we go to mass, but then we end up drinking after. Or well, sometimes we go on hikes. Honestly, alcohol is always around. I don't think my cousins are willing to stop drinking just because of me. That's a good point. We can explore other ways that focus more on you and what you can control. Maybe I can drink slower. I think that's something I can do. If I take smaller sips instead of chugging or taking shots, I wouldn't be drinking as much, right? Right. And that's something you can be in control of. That's a really good step. What are some other things you think you can do? I guess I don't have to feel like I should drink just because everybody else is. Yeah, that's good. And it's true. You don't have to feel obligated to drink alcohol or feel like you have to accept every drink that's offered to you. Yeah, I can say no. I don't like feeling peer pressured anyway. And if you do feel pressure to drink, be honest with them. Tell them why you are not drinking as much. Like you said, you want to be more mindful of your health, especially since your dad had colon cancer and you want to make healthier choices. That's true. I don't want to be packing on any more pounds. Definitely. That seems like it's important to you. So you can explain that alcohol has caused you some weight gain. Is that something you feel comfortable explaining? Yeah, I think so. And I'm definitely going to work out harder at the gym. Maybe I can go to the gym with my cousins. I can invite them. That's an excellent idea. Your cousins are a close part of your social circle, and having their support will help you cut down on the amount of alcohol you consume on a regular basis. That makes sense. Okay, so far, you want to decrease the amount of alcohol you drink. Yes. And you want to do this because your dad has had colon cancer and alcohol can increase your risk of colon cancer. You also want to exercise more and be more fit. And it would be helpful if you didn't feel the after effects of alcohol like hangovers. At the same time, spending time with your family is really important to you. Yeah, I love my family, but I don't want our relationship to be all about alcohol. And you want to cut down on your alcohol drinking, but you still want to be around your family who they do tend to drink. Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is that some ways you can cut down on drinking alcohol is to one, drink slower, two, saying no when drinks are offered to you, and three, going to the gym with your cousins. Yeah, that sounds right. Okay, good. We came up with a good plan so far. I want to follow up with you in 2 months. How does that sound? That sounds good. Great. Let's head over to the patient coordinator to set up that follow-up appointment. Okay, thank you.